Okay, now this is for today. Okay. Yeah, let's move to a chart first and then come back to the instructions, the traders' recommendations. If you can move to the Euro chart, that would be helpful.
Euro.
There we go. Okay.
One in particular that you want to see first?
Well, the one on the lower left, you see this band that is here that surrounds the price? The band on the it's called a Stark band, but it's really an average true range band. And I hope everybody listening knows what an average true range is. It's the high minus the low, basically, incorporating any gaps that happened from one day to the next. In fact, the amount of the gap goes into the next day's trading range. And here we see the green line on the top is basically the average daily range added to a central moving average. The red line on the bottom is the average daily range subtracted from a moving average. So obviously, and so as you can see, the prices are pressing against that green upper limit, which tells you, obviously, that the bias is to the upside. I mean, that sounds ridiculous when you say it. Well, when you go, if you put your cursor over to the right-hand side, when you go from see the last one that touches the green? Those two are touching, one of them is even breaking the top of the average true range channel. And then the very next day, the low touches the bottom of the channel to the right.
Yeah. This one here?
Both of those two there. So you go from the top of the average true range channel to the bottom of the true range channel, and today the price actually broke it. That, again, it's a breakout. And we always have to respect breakouts even when we think they're nonsense. We still have to respect them because there are lots of other people who are going to respect them, and we have to respect the amount of money they've got to throw at the market. So this is a case where we have a downside breakout, and that is a sell signal. Now, if you can move to the next chart down. Okay. Here we see the big black bar. The big black bar is breaking the channel bottom. This is our linear regression channel again. It's closing under the 20-day. That red central line in the Bollinger Band is a 20-day simple moving average. So the close is below that. It closes below the 10-day and some other indicators too. So now we no longer have any guidance on what will be normal. We don't have a linear regression pointing downwards. We only got 3 bars. It's not enough to build a new linear regression channel. So we're without guidance with respect to how far this move could go. Well, one place we know that it could go is the bottom of the Bollinger Band. If we've already had a breakout of one band, which is the one we just talked about, the average true range band, and we've just had a breakout of the linear regression band, how about a breakout of the Bollinger Band? And you have your cursor on it right now. So ultimately our target over the next X number of days is the bottom of the Bollinger Band. But now notice something about this band. It's contracting. And whenever you have a contraction of a band, your chances are you're going to get a breakout. So that's the first thing. Now, when it comes to the euro, the probability of a downside breakout of the Bollinger Band is extremely remote. Almost nobody thinks that's going to happen. And the reason is that the long-standing uptrend in the euro has a good basis. It has a good basis in the fundamentals. Despite the financial crisis with Greece and Ireland and so forth, there are very good fundamentals supporting a long-term rise in the euro to 150, 160. And so this is almost certainly a correction. It's only a correction. Therefore, we do not expect it to break the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Moreover,
maybe, 135 maybe.
Well, we don't know. But in any case, we're not going to try to estimate it today anyway, because if you see how many hundreds of points that is, that's more than one day's worth of trading. And here comes my take on risk management. None of us has the amount of money on hand to trade like George Soros. In other words, with a many, many months time frame in mind. And time frame is critical in terms of doing good trading. If you don't know what your time frame is, you're going to be a crappy trader. So whether you have a 1-hour time frame or a 3-hour time frame or whatever it is, you have to know what it is. You have to pick it. And you have to stick to it, too. And in that time frame, you should always have a stop and you should always have a target. Now, it would take 2 more giant bars like this to hit that bottom of the B band, and the B band is rising up anyway. So the bottom of the Bollinger Band is not going to happen tomorrow in the next 24 hours. My trading time frame is the next 6 to 12 hours. I say it's 24, but as a practical matter, 95% of all the trades I do occur in the first 6 to 12 hours. So I almost don't care about the Bollinger Band at this point. I know it's down there. I'm going to tell you what it is. If you can move over to the text box, you'll see that I tell you what is the band. Can you move it? Yeah. To the text box. There we go. Keep going. B band bottom, 133.25. So yeah, that's a possibility. But by the time we recalculate it for tomorrow, it won't be 133.25 anymore because it's rising up. It'll be 134 something, and then the day after that it'll be 135 something. So it's almost not even a relevant number today, but it's the only guidance we've got as to how far down this thing could go. Now, some of the other indicators I look at on this chart, there are basically 8 indicators on this set of charts, and you get this same set of chart for every currency. In the top of that window, that's the Chande momentum indicator again. It's a relative strength indicator. And as you can see, it had been over the top of the channel up there, and now it's crashing down. The red line is a very interesting indicator line. It's the 21-day weighted moving average of relative strength. So when the black line...
21 or 20?
21. Weighted moving average. A guy named Arthur Merrill figured that one out. And so it's basically a confirmation. There's confirmation all over these charts. Every single indicator on this chart is telling us sell euros. But again, experience tells us that when you have a big bar like this, you may not get a lower low, or the lower low you get could be trivial, some 20 points or something. And you will almost certainly not get a lower close. And so you can't be greedy when you set your target for tomorrow's price.